You overlooked what happens when the Muslim population outnumbers the host country. Ask 15th century India about it. Didn't overlook that, or it wasn't the topic, and it's a non-point from you. Love supporting you. Hello, Devin. You might find it interesting that I declared cultural independence from African Americans to reclaim my European heritage to stop the anti-white agenda. You can learn from it here. Mm. Mm-hmm. Bizarre. What do we got here? Yeah, you spent the whole video admitting he is right. Admitting? Wait, am I on trial? No, I determine what is right and what is not right based on my own opinion. You just sinned like the. You just sinned like the tactics? What do you mean the Wait, mass murder is something completely different than, hey, there's a lot of Muslims in France. Or, hey, it's not cool to kill kids in Stockholm. So, yeah, you're right about those things. There's a huge departure from, wait a minute, you're wrong about killing 50 people. I mean, what the fuck? You horrible person. White people don't exist, and even if they do and are being replaced, they deserve. That's just sketchy and fucking die. Psycho loser. And he's gone, and that's the first one of the night. That's one. You have drawn and quartered his fucked up logic like a boss. What the hell do we do to deserve another video in less than 24 hours? Exactly. Great video, as always. Correct. To say that Devin has an anti-white agenda is idiotic. Shame on you. I don't know what the fuck. Have you read the Quran? Infidels shall be executed, women and children raped, tortured, and enslaved, kind of like in Germany, England, Sweden, and France. Diversity is not a strength. Are these people aware that there's different kinds of diversity? The strongest countries are homogeneous with ethnic pride and nationalism. Define strongest. Diversity leads to demonizing, demoralizing a race group or religion to promote another group's agenda. America was a superpower when it was majority white. Oh my god. All right. That's just Mr. White is his name. Interesting. Let's see if anybody leaves their name. It won't be. Well, well done. It's good to have a realistic review of the mindset of this individual. People who blame the immigrants are foolish. If they want to change, then change your government. The immigrants aren't the problem. It's the government's immigration policies that they live under. And if they can't change it from within, then they are poor communicators and can only blame themselves for letting it happen to them. Pick a side, white boy. That's a ban. You're not convinced he wrote this? Please don't go all Alex Jones on us. Okay. It's mildly insulting, but let him stick around. Say hello to the chat. You're in the middle of a band session. Welcome. I'm very chilled out. It's very late. Did you get banned for something again, Devin? No, not me. They are getting banned. Devin is banning Nazis. Devin's living room? Correct. It's some sketchy fucking losers, man. Like I'm surprised. And I've seen my share of sketchy losers. I know, like, what is there to disagree with? What's kind of amazing is you'll hear me just absolutely disintegrate any argument against me, but they're going to be few and far between. The only people, most people are just like, you're wrong, or just fuck you. It's so bizarre. Like, I didn't say anything controversial in this at all. Just basic common sense. Posting in real time. Thank you. Your videos are great, and your dick is huge. Correct. Not right now. It's limp, but I'm a grower. Here we go. So let's just dive into this. France is the model that is happening every white majority country in the world. That's why he used it. Why he used what? France as an example? It's not really the case. The white rates of many countries is, I mean, Germany is still very, very white. And that's with even after they basically were like, yeah, we'll bring in a few million. Doesn't matter. It's still massively white. Switzerland, massively white. Hungary, massively white. But yeah, there's a few countries where it's noticeably changing, and so be it. You can talk about it. I mean, I didn't even talk about that. It's like I'm not necessarily in favor of that, and there's a actual conversation to have there. So normally a fan. Oh my god. But you seem to be willfully ignorant at times. So watch this. So that's the insult, right? What am I willfully ignorant of? I mean, I gave the most in-depth, honest analysis of the fucking manifesto of this guy. These are all topics I'm very well versed in. You're not. There's no curveballs here. This is like I fucking travel around the world, living in half of these countries they're talking about. They don't even know diddly dick about anything. I have a degree in history. I have a massive dick, and I have a massive dick. Did I say that? That's how big it is. It needs to be said twice. Suck it. Suck my big fat dick. It's not fat. It's not girthy. Because I'm like 6'3", 200 pounds. So it looks like my body, especially with my bald head. It's like a little version of me. It's a mini me. Only it's not mini. Don't let me catch you saying it's a mini. All right. But you do seem to 200 people agree that I'm willfully ignorant. Presumably to counter and virtue signal. So in what way do they think I'm virtue signaling? Because I'm condemning a mass murderer? They clearly have no idea what a virtue signal is. Do they think that the point of this video... First of all, do you realize the risk I took posting the manifesto? I'm risking my livelihood. That's a strike. Nobody else is doing that? Fucking Ethan Ralph said, oh, I'm not going to do that. If you want to read the friggin' manifesto, you do it. Because he thought it was going to get struck. So how the hell is it a virtue signal? I'm going through the thing telling my audience that he is right when he is right. How is that? This is not a cat video. This is not a Hallmark card. I'm going and saying the mass murderer, who is an evil bastard for what he did, is right on these points because they're independent points. You don't tar and feather everything a guy ever said. I mean, his ideas exist outside of him and his, moral behavior. He could be right and be an evil prick. He wasn't right about killing people. I mean, what the hell did I say? There's no argument here. I could list, but he doesn't because he can't. Look at this guy. Yeah, that's my suspicion as well. Good post. Drown yourself, you fucking faggot. Banned. And that guy's so effing gone from my life. And don't think I won't circle back here because Destiny's in the house. Thank you. A lot of times you guys think like you're talking about my back and shit. Like I'll find your motherfucking ass. I'll send you an address. You come out to Switzerland and say any of this shit to my face. IRL. IRL left hook. Left hook right. All right? You and I will get into some fucking Mortal Kombat. Because I just don't give a shit anymore. I think it's time to bloody some of you up, quite frankly. Do I watch the Iconoclast? I don't watch anybody. I watch myself. I watch my fat dick as it pisses sitting down. I dip my head into the bowl. There's nobody good on YouTube. Fuck that. I am YouTube. I will teach you After Effects. I give out free lessons anyway. I show everybody how I do it all the time. JF's analysis? Are you kidding me? the fucking ethnostater had a good analysis about his ethnostating mass murdering friend. Did you watch the Darren Till fight? Of course I did. This is fun. Of course it is. Where's the manifesto out? I don't know. Send me an email. I'll send you a copy. Atheism is unstoppable. Devin for Human Ambassador. I am the ambassador of the white race. How? Yeah, Devin. Hope you're having a good one, man. Yeah, it's late night, but I probably have a good hour in me. Then I'll go upstairs and slip into bed, slip into my girlfriend's DMs. And by DMs, I mean butt. We all need Devin in our life. That is true. He's been radicalized. Disavow. Right. So, I mean, fuck, man. You post a video on YouTube and it attracts some serious moths to the flame. Just disgusting. Drink Husky chocolate drink. So he's trying to support his sponsor for his McLaren Formula One racing. He has his hobby, and it's good. Devin, I'll throw the gauntlet down just for a chance to meet you. Okay, good. Come. Bare knuckle. And it's to the death. But it's whatever. I don't speak German, so please refrain from your monkey language. Thank you. All right, let's jump back in because it's pretty absurd. Seriously, Devin is supposed to be real, and instead he's acting like he's running for president. Yeah. So I'm trying to remember. What the fuck did I say? Like they're so devoid of a point that I'm trying to like think of what they could have taken issue with. Being against a mass murderer is real vanilla political talk shit, huh? You suck at life, you fucking cunt. Rag. And that's a ban. Yeah, that is a ban. That's a fucking ban. Get out. Agreed, he's basically knew nothing on this. I found this kind of cringe. Emma Lloyd found me cringe. Wow. Rip open that smelly axe wound you have down there and stretch it up towards your guts, you fat, dumpy whore. Dunk, boom, 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 boom. Dunk.
Get the fuck up. Simon says, get the fuck up. Throw your hands in the...
Okay, he's a colossal bitch. Do I have anything? Yeah, drown yourself, you fucking faggot band. That's good. We'll just reuse. Get out.
God.
All right. I totally agree with you on this one, Chipster. Legit hope you die tomorrow. Or your family. Or your pets. Or your girlfriend. Oops. We know why that's funny. Lick my dick. You're banned. Mm-hmm. Get the fuck out.
In the back, sipping.
My favorite YouTuber isn't saying what I want him to say, so I'm going to try and heckle him. Mm-hmm. You clearly can't distinguish a heckle from a point or opinion. What opinion? Is there anybody impressed with anything? Do you realize I wade through shit real time. Fearless. Fucking fearless. I go through the guy's manifesto in real time, fearless. So am I going to be afraid of these people? You think I'm going to get pwned? You think, oh, I won't have an answer for one of these comments. They got me. Fucking losers, man. It's unbelievable. My ego has never been more boosted than just looking around the internet. Just look around the internet and engage other humans, and you will think higher of yourself. That's the way it works. Well, Chipster, are you going to support your claim with evidence or whine some more? Okay. Yes, I know, thanks. This is why I hit the mute button and read it in silence, but thank you, Devin, for drawing this to my attention, which the fake news would not have done. So this is a person who they just used me to get to this manifesto. So apparently, I don't know. I don't know how they found my channel. I don't know. Like, my voice and my thoughts is the show. I'm not here to do a fucking single thing for you. So, fuck your mother. Leave my life. You're banned. That's how that worked. Get the fuck out. Show more replies. You see more of the little dog type without a bite type. The responses might imply I don't have. What? Okay, apart from the numerous inconsistencies, number one example. Oh, here we go. AIU repeatedly fails to recognize the importance of an ethnic supermajority. What? I fail to recognize that. So, wait a minute. I am reacting to a man's comments, and he wants me to just be on page with him politically and be like, yeah, ethno states, ethnic supermajority. If he knew me, I've been on record where I think it. First of all, I'm in favor of white nations, the existence and preservation of, and I am highly alarmed by white people becoming a minority. I don't think that's a good thing. So, how one figures out how to balance A, immigration, B, the shifting, demographic shifts, which is always going to be different fertility rates. We know that those are trends. So unless you want to like get into some serious eugenics and like start encouraging people to breed, these are fucking LARPing problems. Do you realize that? This is like worrying about pissing in the ocean. So you can talk about it philosophically and just be like, look, America used to be 85%, 90% white, then 75, then now 60. Has it gotten better? Has it gotten worse? Do you prefer one over the other? It's like these things are viable questions. And I had a fucking conversation with Jared Taylor. We talked about this. This is not lost on me. Nobody wants 100. I don't want. Some people like this probably do want 100% ethnic, whatever supermajority. I'm very honest about where I live in my life. Look at where I've lived since leaving Los Angeles. England. Okay, a white part of England. A white part of London. Germany, extremely white. I've spent time in, Spain, Budapest, Melbourne. These are places that I've lived. Croatia, it's all white. So I've gone specifically to white places because I'm A, more comfortable there, B, they're the best places on earth, undisputably. I've also gone down to Argentina and spent time there, and Rio de Janeiro. There's more risks down there. I was robbed down there, or attempted, guy multiple times. Guy tried to steal my camera in BA, and we tried to get, me and my girlfriend were almost robbed the first day we got into our new apartment in downtown Buenos Aires. Rio de Janeiro, you better choose the neighborhood. If you're not staying in Ipanema or Copacabana, be ready, because that shit is hairy over there. So yeah, those are nice places to visit, but to settle down, hell no. I'm in Switzerland right now. What do you want from me? For fuck's sake. And this is what's so spurgy about these people. Like, if they try to turn a guy like me into an enemy, which is insane. I am straight up like a white advocate at this point. I'm a defender of racism. I stand up for who I am. I happen to be white. I have zero white guilt. I call out anti-white bigotry all the time. I engage people like fucking Richard Spencer, and even though I haven't talked to him. And it's partly because Richard Spencer would bring a whole fucking gaggle of losers like this, who are like, hey, dude, ethno state now, Nazi shit now. I mean, it's so fucking retarded. Do you realize I was in a chat the other night? A guy was trying to make fun of me because I was on a stream and I said that the Holocaust happened. Do you realize that's the level of loserdom that we are witnessing online? It's crazy. Okay, so I fail to recognize the importance of an ethnic supermajority. Supermajority, how much is that, dude? Hipster chipster? This is after multiple videos where he correlates many measures of the successive nations with their demographics. I'm pioneering that effort online. I have noticed, I've done research, I've traveled the world, I noticed the trend. Okay? The greatest countries on earth are white. That's like the least controversial thing ever. So where is the argument? How am I not recognizing that? I'm the one that makes videos. You're the one that watches my videos talking about that, you fucking faggot. Shut your fucking hole. You dumb faggot bitch. Now, should I ban him? I think he's the original. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll ban him. He's a rue cunt on this issue. That's Barry McCockenher. Barry McCockenher. Okay? He wants to bury his cockiner, and super edge. Banned. Fucking incel. Cunty little bitches. Get the fuck out.
Yo, what's up?
If you have counter arguments, make them. Exactly. The guy, he has nothing. He voted for Hillary, guys. Doesn't she have 2 L's? He's borderline retarded. Drown yourself, you fucking faggot. Banned. So far, this thread has criticized Devin, yet hasn't actually presented an argument. Yes, finally. I think Devin's video just gets better and better. 100% with him on pretty much everything. Exactly. Finally, there's reason. You see, there are these beacons of hope. You stumble across them. And by the way, that's me for you. I am the beacon of hope for you. And you didn't stumble across me. You willfully and self-consciously, you put yourself before me. Kneel before Zod. Bend the knee. I am your Khaleesi. You come to me. I'm in a fucking bomb shelter in Switzerland, talking to myself. All right? Now you pull up a chair and pay your fucking respects. And I don't want your likes or your shares or your retweets. I want your money, period. Give me money or give me the back of your ass walking away from me. I don't want it. Devin was being very careful not to agree with the guy too much. No, it's being normal. Devin's being very normal. He's got his 100K subs and won't risk losing them. But if my subs are in favor of a mass murderer, fuck them. I'd rather have 10 subs. Understandable. To his credit, he did read aloud the line about the killer having worked part-time at a kebab removal. Yeah. Right. The night before last, JF Garapi refused to read that part. Well, probably because he can't read, the fucking potato fucking French Canadian twat. All right. Boom, 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 boom. Kneel before sloth. Interesting. Good play. There it is. Grant's laying down the fucking wood. I like that. Oh, wow. That was a loose band there. Okay. By ethnic autonomy, he means each ethnicity in their own homeland. Okay. Well, I mean, this is a very irrational conversation. There are countries that are set up that are not intended to be ethnic homelands. Like Australia is a perfect example. Australia is 100 years old. New Zealand in the same ballpark. So these countries were set up based on principles and had an open sort of policy to welcoming more people because they have a ton of land and they're trying to build up a society. They happen to be on the edge of the earth, and now they have more strict immigration policy. But yeah, I mean, it's not a coherent idea. I mean, what do you want? No non-whites in Australia? Good luck with that. That's not ever going to happen. So nobody's on board with this shit. So these people are ultimately frustrated because they realize to get what they want, they need to be violent and start wars. And they're not going to do it. They're going to flame out. You might have a guy like this just, basically go on a suicide run, and it's all just cosmetic. It's not going to do jack shit, and it's going to alienate people from their viewpoints. So they're frustrated, and they're frustrated probably for a number of other reasons in their life. But see, this guy's not personally disrespectful to me, so I'm not going to ban him. When white people become minorities in their own capital, London, and white people go from being over 80% of the population in America, the year I was born, to becoming a minority before I reach retirement age, we got a problem. Okay. I do agree with Devin on the numbers, though. There's still a billion white people on this planet. Drop in birth rates is going to make that number dip, but not disappear. I fear civil war is coming in all white countries. Devin, and so should you. Civil war between who? I don't fear that. I mean, yeah, so these guys are all just freaking out. They're all gripping. They're all panicking that whites are less and less of the percentage of a country. And, my solution has been just to bounce. I bounced out of Los Angeles. Los Angeles is not white at all. Do you guys want to know the percentage of whites in Los Angeles? 26%. And that is highly based on where you live. So you're basically in a sea of brown and black people and Asians. Asians is up to like 15% out there. Koreatown, Chinatown, we got it all. And I was living in a neighborhood like right next to the Santa Monica Pier. So once you get out of the bubble of like the nice, super nice areas that I used, my parents live in and shit, you're with the masses. You're with the non-whites. And I understand the trends. I mean, I grew up with these people, and it's not all bad. It's just that, each situation is different, and you got to factor the shit in. I mean, a black neighborhood in Los Angeles is going to be bad, period. There's not one good one I can think of. That's just the way it is. It's correlated with economics, a lot of, poor people, but I don't care. It's not my problem. I just want to live a peaceful, safe life. You should have seen me and my girlfriend today walking along the river, the Rhine. Okay? We're just strolling along. It's a harmonious situation. Switzerland was voted the happiest country on earth. People here are just pleasant, and when it works, it's effortless. Melbourne was the same way. Just people were nice. It was cool. People are just chill. And it's contagious. It's like when somebody smiles at you and everybody starts smiling. It's kind of like that. All right. So this guy has 41 replies. All right, fuck that. Hey, Devin, I'm a paraplegic and I live in a rural area. Do you think I should have the right to own a gun? That 87 responses. I say, of course not. Right. So the gun nuts are still yapping. Oh my God, that is so tiresome. So, where will a population direct their rage? We are told that we are the enemy. We are toxic. We must pay for past transgressions. When we speak of our achievements, we are scorned and attacked. So, where do we direct our rage? This is the point. This is what I'm doing. Critical mass will be achieved, and the corporations are tickling the dragon's tail. Um, First of all, you shouldn't be in a state of rage. That's a problem. That shows you're out of control. You should acknowledge racism directed towards you. You should take pride in who you are and where you've come from and defend the honor of the white people, whether that be white American, the pioneers, the founding fathers. You can recognize their flaws, but I mean, look, everybody. John Glenn probably had, a bunch of kiddie porn. I don't know. Still doesn't mean he didn't pioneer astronautical shit. So it's all emotional. The whole thing's a shit flinging contest of emotions. It's people who are jealous of us. And it's petty. And it's beneath everyone. So you make your points online, you vent, you stand up for yourself. But as far as rage, no, just chill with that. Nobody's going to riot. Because there's going to be a sea of toxic energy coming towards everybody forever. That's what the internet is. The internet gives microphones to a bunch of douchebags that don't deserve a microphone. And what are they going to do? Here's what the internet is. This is the internet. The internet is a do-it-yourself, free, self-help, self-therapy platform. That's what it's being used for. Like he just said, he's trying to direct his rage. He should be going to an anger management counselor or a therapist and being like, "So, hey, Chris, what's going on? How's your week?" Well, I'm very rageful. Okay, why? Well, because people are blaming me for slavery and they're taking some heat online. Okay, that seems to be a problem. Is that affecting you? Yeah, I'm not sleeping well. Okay, and how is that affecting your work? Yeah, I'm distracted. I'm grinding my teeth and yeah, I feel stress and I have headaches a lot. Okay, well, Chris, let's talk about how we can process that. So he doesn't have that. That costs money to go to a therapist, to have an expert help you walk you through your internal bullshit. So what do? They spurg. The people that are lashing out at me, I'm fielding their rage because they hate their job, because they don't have a partner in their life that they're happy with, because they don't have sex, because they're short. I'm fielding that. Do you understand? Now I have to fucking Tai Chi the whole shit. I'm sitting here like fucking, you know, who is that? Ralph Macchio? Wax on, wax off? Fap on, fap off. That's what I'm doing. I'm doing a good job of it too. It's der Alid for what the fuck? Why do people speak German at me? If you speak against migration, you are censored, lose job, and called names and threats of violence. In what country? If you specifically vote a candidate who has a policy against migration, like Trump, he betrays you by increasing migration even more than Obama did. Is that what he did? What is left for people like him? Is this still reacting? I don't know who. I don't know where I am in this thread. Devin, white people are having fewer kids for financial reasons. Other races don't care. Well, also, there's a study that shows the more intelligent you are, the less likely it is you're going to have kids and less early in your life. So that's how fucking smart I am. Other races don't care. We're just more careful. Do you think we should just do what Muslims do and have 12 kids? No. Why? There's no competition here. Look at Japan. Japan doesn't have a ton of kids. They got like 2 or less. I mean, I think we could chill with the population growth. Are people still not understanding the exponential growth of human population? It's not just China and India. It's all over the place. And you realize if it got drastic, if it was like, hey, there's a billion white people now, and then all of a sudden in 20 years it's like, there's 400,000 of us, then you know what? I'll go out and rape everyone, okay? That's my promise to you. If in 20 years the white population of the earth drops to 400,000, I will rape 100,000 women. I'm going to go fucking Wilt Chamberlain on it, all right? It's my promise to you. It might be on white people if they don't reproduce their numbers enough, but that doesn't mean that they shouldn't be allowed to close their borders or take steps to protect their native stock. We don't need the third world to sustain us. We don't need their labor, and we sure shit don't require their ideas. So, again, he's arguing at me like as if I've taken a stand opposite to this. I'm in favor of borders. So the guy's like straw manning, being like, so, shouldn't we? He's suggesting close the borders. That's insane. That doesn't even make sense. So, no, you're supposed to have a certain amount of immigration. The percentage, the numbers, that is open for debate. And this is why politics matters, because who is going to be honest about that debate? You know, it's crazy. Out here in Germany, what they did with the borders here, bringing in all these millions of freaking Syrians and whatnot, that's insane. Like, who voted on that? There was no public vote. They didn't have like a Brexit vote for that. It was an executive decision by a woman who was then given Time Person of the Year for having done so. And she gets to absolve herself of Nazi guilt. So, yeah, I'm in favor of borders. And protecting your native stock. What are we, sheep? It's retarded. People are just overreacting and freaking out. Like, dude, Bachelor in Paradise is coming up. Game of Thrones is coming up. Eurovision's coming up. Let's keep things in a little bit of perspective. Devin, I usually agree with what you have to say, but in this instance, you are wrong about the demographic replacement. No, I am not. And this is another fucking white, sort of LARPing homosexual, Gaius Octavian. This is a guy who watches Gladiator and he's like swelling with pride because it's, oh, these guys were Italians. They were white. Who is it? Maximus? Aurelius Maximus. Yeah, I'm gonna. It's like Sargon and shit. There's a statue of a Greek god. That'll be me because I'm white. Stupid. So look at this point he's trying to make. So literally, like, this is how embarrassing it is. Devin, you're wrong about demographic replacement. How? No, I am not. The word replacement has a meaning, okay? So I am pointing out the fact that this is hysterical when people talk about white genocide. It's not genocide. When they talk about what demographic replacement, it's not. It's demographic addition. You are adding people, and then in comparison to the new people, your percentage on the whole is less. Your numbers could still rise. That's why I said there's more white people now than ever, and these people are like, we're being replaced. No, you're not. You fucking pussy. There's just other people around you. What are you, so scared of them? Shit. I mean, here's the thing. If these people want to have any progress, I'm going to give them the actual path to progress for their idea. If your idea is you want to have an open and honest discussion about race percentages in a country, that's a big hurdle, in America at least. Definitely in Canada and Britain, all these places. That nobody's talking about that. Not even talking about it. So, keeping track of how many whites are in a country, that's not even up for discussion. That's just like, ooh, well, yeah, I guess that's happening. They view that like, tomorrow's going to be partly cloudy. It's like, oh, that's the thing that's happening tomorrow. You can't stop it. You can't change it. It's just, that's going to happen. So, we started to get alarmed with this when guys like Genk would talk about how whites in 2050 are going to be the minority in the country. And it got a standing ovation. People are applauding and hooting and hollering at that, which is crazy. So here's what they would have to do. They would have to normalize in the same way that people like Bernie Sanders have normalized discussions about universal health care and free college education, which sounded, pretty out there and like a pipe dream a couple years ago. Now he just, through his sheer will, he has, him and others have made that topic, that idea, a viable one, a one that is actually on the table. Now they're trying to do that now with things like reparations, which is crazy. Where they keep talking about reparations, next thing you know, we're voting on. Next thing you know, it's there. Boom, reparations. There you go. So, if you were to talk about white people in America and said, I am concerned that white people are dwindling in numbers in America, and one thing we could do about it, we could talk about fertility rates, but that's basically a white conversation. That's between white people. They need to have that conversation. And it needs to be done so in a compelling way. You can't just yell at people or be like, Spurg, freak out, where are all the whites? That's not going to convince anybody to do anything. So the other aspect of it is to control immigration. And also, really, the bigger point is, can you get to a point where it's publicly kosher, acceptable to talk about white people and white interests and the fact that white majority countries are the best and that there's a reason for that? That's not an accident. So any discussion of white people, especially if it's positive in nature or prideful in nature, it's going to be responded with a chorus of "you're all fucking racist, you're white supremacist, you're racist." That's the spurging that we've seen over the past 10 years. Is, it's been there for a long time, but now it's just heightened, and it's been supercharged because there's just so many dumb people, and they have so much access to all these platforms. So, that's what people like Jared Taylor and myself are trying to do, which is normalize a healthy sense of white pride. So it's also, for me at least, laced with common sense, where you say, look, neo-Nazis bad, KKK bad, Nazis bad, Holocaust bad, that mass shooter bad, anything insane, anything violent, anything like crazy, it's all bad. But having said that, here's what's good: a normal sense of self, a true sense of identity, not to be ashamed of who you are. This is shit like kindergartners should be taught. Okay, I mix it in with I'm pro everyone. Okay, I'm pro other people. If I was Argentinian, I'd be, prideful of my Argentinian heritage, which, loosely they are kind of white down there. But if I was black, I'd be happy to be black. There's millions upon millions of great people all over the world. That still, I'm not going to turn a blind eye. I'm not going to turn it into a kumbaya. There's a reason you and I are not trying to move to Africa tomorrow. There's a reason why you and I aren't going to Cambodia or to Bolivia. Okay? We might go to Bolivia. We probably get a pretty good exchange rate for the dollar, especially if we could continue to earn Patreon dollars and then spend pesos down there. Something to consider. So send me an email if you're interested in moving in with me to Bolivia. Okay. It's like Devin has dissociative identity disorder, LOL. I mean, again, it's a non-argument. So it's just like this limp ass. I mean, how lucid can I possibly be on this topic? How comfortable in my own skin? Nobody else does this shit. Who else engages with the most controversial topics of the day? Like he's fucking doing the backstroke in a pool. This is casual shit for me. I'm sipping on a latte here. This is nothing. This guy's a fucking jackass. Instead of attacking Devin, how about reflecting on the state of your own movement? It's time you address the disastrously low collective IQ of white nationalists. Yeah, we're talking about sub-Somali levels among you. Make no mistake. That's funny. You and your ideological comrades are currently unfit for Western society. A danger. I mean, and this is a perfect example. A guy like that is going to freak out and act like an autistic loser when listening to me go over a fucking manifesto from a mass murderer. I didn't go over the manifesto of the mass murderer to his liking. Where? Timestamp something. What have I said? What a bitch. So he's going to take a person who sticks up for the white race like I do, okay? And he's going to make an enemy of me. That's where you know that these people have no chance at normalizing any of their ideas when they're losing me. It's fucking ridiculous. Okay. I still have to read the manifesto. You say he's right about France, yes. So what now? The same situation happening in France is happening in almost every single other white country in the world. It's just a question of timescale and the particular flavor of imported/invader. So what now? Well, first of all, I'm not a politician. Okay, I don't have the answers. I never claim to have the answers. I think that having the discussion is part of the process of getting to an answer. How to learn from France is a good, starting point. What were the mistakes? We can learn from Germany. We can learn from Sweden, England, and France. Yeah, I think we can. I think France. I think one of the main things, it's an easy fix, really, is the general tone of dishonesty. So the French don't they don't tell you the percentage of Muslims in their jails, which has been cited at over 70%. They're not going to tell you, they're not going to break down crime stats by race. It's going to be very difficult to find that. Or anti-Semitism. So they live in a world where they pretend like things aren't as bad as they are, and it's awful over there. It seriously is fucking crazy. And in the bad neighborhoods, it's just like it's a no-go zone. Just because the thing doesn't have a sign over it saying this is a no-go zone, everybody and their mother knows it's a no-go zone. And that's why you haven't gone there. That's why you're not there now. Literally, it's a no-go zone. So how to avoid being like France? Address these issues, call them out. They're separate too. It's not just like white people are the answer. Yeah, for the whites. No, Islam and Muslims is one issue. I would view that as a separate issue. I would dive into that issue and break it down: Sunni, Shiite, what country they come from. Um, because not all countries are pumping out the same kinds of Muslims. We have examples of Muslims working in relative peace with their surroundings, like in Los Angeles. The Iranians in Los Angeles are non-issue. Like, I grew up with them. They don't take their religion seriously, and it's fine. So it is possible, and we have to figure out how and why to make that the case. But we got to put our foot down, and I think we could look to other countries like what the Czech Republic or Hungary are doing. Russia is probably similar, in terms of drawing some lines in the sand and being like, look, let's open up the discussion about immigration, because it gets to the heart of a lot of issues. And there's two problems, really. Immigration has its eye toward the future. A lot of these countries, it's already bad. What's inside the country is terrible. That's why I find it hysterical when Trump is trying to ramp up fear-mongering about a caravan coming in. Like, there's 2,000 Latins about to enter the country. It's like, dude, have you been to California? Yeah, there's Latins fucking everywhere. I was just hanging out in New Mexico, Albuquerque. They're friggin' meth head Hispanics just wandering the streets. Just straight up bums everywhere. Like, they don't have that in Switzerland. There's no bums in Switzerland. I haven't seen a bum since I've been here, let alone a Mexican bum. I was hanging out in a hotel in Denver a couple months ago. I'm looking for the gym in my hotel. I see this Hispanic hotel worker. I go, hey, do you know where the fitness center is? He goes, no habla inglés, was his answer to me. And I looked at him, and I was just taken aback. I was like, what? I've never in my life heard someone say that to me in America. No habla inglés. I wasn't in, at a border town. It's in Denver. It's in the dead center of the country. It's crazy. So what now? I mean, yeah, you're never going to get a solution without a discussion. Like, it's like saying, how are you going to fix the sexual dysfunction between you and your wife? I don't know. Like, how are we going to do it? Well, can you talk about it? No, I'm not going to talk about it. If I talk about it, she gets mad and defensive and just shuts down the conversation. Okay, so, like, do you even agree on the problems? No. So there's no agreement. If we can't agree on a problem, we can't solve anything. So getting a critical mass of people to agree that there is a problem, to explain why it is a problem, to explain, what you think you can do to better the situation. First of all, that's going to be met with a huge ton of backlash. So this is a massive, the people that are non-white are going to take massive offense to you being like, not really. I think there's too many of you here, basically. Now, those people, if you were to convince them, if you were to speak to them in a manner that was strategic and skillful, you could get them to personally admit that they see these problems. The numbers are the numbers. You can make an incredible case for this. I mean, half of these people begrudgingly will come to a place where they're like, look, I understand why you're making this point. I mean, I know what Detroit was, and I know what Detroit is now. Are we going to pretend there's not a racial element to that? I mean, for God's sakes, how many ghetto cities are there? Just how many ghetto parts of cities are there? What about Milwaukee? What about St. Louis? Do you want to go? I could do an interview with a guy from Milwaukee or St. Louis and ask him, Chicago, ask him about the different suburbs, their racial demographics, and how functional they are, how proud of them he is, whether or not he would want to live there. These things are real. These are real things. Uncomfortable. Oh, yeah. You better bet your ass it's uncomfortable. It's about as uncomfortable as having two children. One of them is beautiful. The other one is kind of fat and ugly and doesn't do well in school. The beautiful one is the star of the soccer team, is getting into a good college. The other one is kind of failing, getting into drugs, getting fatter, has bad skin, acne. Just, it's awkward. Okay, it's true. All of it's true. That's not a subjective thing. The one kid is smart in school. The other one does shit in school. The one does have nice skin. The other one doesn't have nice skin. So I could point all that out to you. It still doesn't help the fact that it's so uncomfortable to talk about it. And people are based on emotions and they react to these things in oftentimes an irrational fashion. And they just are like, look, it's fucking it's too awkward for me to even address the reality of this. So what do you want to do? But I'm telling you that the number one hurdle before any action, political or otherwise, takes place is to further, it's to move the needle, to move the watermark in terms of our willingness to talk about these things in an honest way. So we have to get over the whole thing of everyone's a racist. We have to, tell those people to go fuck themselves. Power through that. You got to power through that. And then have a real discussion. That's what YouTube is helping with that. This manifesto dickhead is not helping with that. People like Jared Taylor are helping with that. People like Richard Spencer, less so. Because he comes with all sorts of other bullshit. It's pretty clear to me that you didn't read the manifesto before you made the video. Yeah, I'm reading it as I go. It's not a making analysis of it while you are reading it through Trove. First time is pretty stupid. Oh God, that's the argument. That's the best. Oh God, the internet's not sending me their best. They're not sending me their best. Okay, so I'm making analysis of it while I read it through the first time. Well, I'm making analysis of this comment. This is the first time I've read this. So what is stupid about reading something and reacting to it on the fly? When you're brilliant like I am, you can do that. Okay? How long have I been talking nonstop? An hour? It's fucking riveting. I'm riveted by it. Just listening to my own voice, I'm fucking semi-hard. I bet there's probably people watching me right now. Yeah, 300 people watching me. Exactly. Exactly my point. I'm a fucking talent, man. Don't blame me. Enjoy me. I enjoy me. All right, so first of all, there's a method to why I don't read something prior or watch a video prior. It's because I want the spontaneous reaction. That is, you're on the cusp. You don't want to be stale and rehearsed. You can tell. Nobody wants to see you read something. You got to be in the moment. That's how people live their lives. That's what we respect. That's what we appreciate. We don't want this. So, yeah, he's gone.
Girls, rub on your titties.
Rub on your titties. He didn't commit this massacre in his country. Okay. He is Australian, not news. When did I say this? When did I say that? Timestamp. What? Did I misspeak? I mean, who cares? Fucking New Zealand is a neighboring country to Australia. What's the point? There's no point to that. 11 people like, yeah, bro, yeah, it's out of life. What the fuck? You got me on a fucking minor technicality. I don't even think I said that, first of all. And second of all, there is literally no point to that. I mentioned over and over in the video he's from Australia. I know he did in New Zealand. So, what? Gotcha? Gotcha, Devin! The fuck is your problem? You fucking loser. Fucking loser. Eat. Shit and die. Banned. God damn, it's gross, isn't it? What a time-wasting thing for him to have brought to me. Devin will still be cucking when a Muslim is hanging out the back of his girlfriend. What? He's hanging out the back of her? So he entered her colon? What are the physics of that looking like? The devil. Oh, he's anonymous. He's anonymous. It's hard to tell what he is. Yeah. AIU doesn't understand birth rate. Yeah, it's very tricky. What is a birth rate? It's incredible. Just incredible. So painfully dumb. Bye, fag. Holy fucking Christ. I mean, I love envisioning a scenario where somebody like this would meet me in person and come up to me and say their stupid, snarky bullshit line to me, expecting for it to be a knockdown argument. Like, why don't you ask Devin Tracy and just say, Devin, do you know what a birth rate is? And then I would probably react in a way where I'm like shocked that my intelligence is being insulted. Look at them, like skull fuck them, basically. I fuck them, daggers, and answer the question literally, and then just be like, who the fuck do you think you are? Do you think that was a point to be made? What are you doing? Why are you challenging me? Do you really think I didn't have an answer for that? Do you really think I didn't know what that meant? So stupid. Differing birth rates will lead to changes in population composition over time. Thanks, genius. UK Muslim birth rate 2.9. Great. Okay. Thanks for, I mean, just a statement. Great. Who's not aware of this? Excruciatingly uncomfortable truth for some people. The issues brought up in the manifesto are actually true and nobody's willing to address them. Well, I'm addressing them. And as we see, some people even attempt to deny these truths too, shaking my damn head. I just addressed them. Hello. Devin and I have a lot of disagreements here. Okay. I agree with much of what this psychopath killer writes in his manifesto. That's a weird sentence. I obviously don't agree with his action and his idea of how to combat some, if the issues he brings up, but I do agree that the issues he brings up are in fact problems as he describes them. How is that not exactly what I did in this video? I agreed with the problems when he was right, and I pointed out when he was exaggerating or hysterical or wrong. Again, this is a non-argument. This is a summary of something that could potentially be an argument, but he has nothing to say. There's no detailed statement that I can work with. He presents no logical counter to anything I've said. Doesn't quote me, doesn't make a point, it's not even close. When a historically white country with its own distinct culture and history, such as France, transforms into a multicultural mess, with terror attacks growing more and more normal and crime rates increasing in the span of just half a century, you know there's a problem. I agree. When have I said that in the video. There shouldn't be ethnic autonomy for Muslims in the West. They had their ethnic autonomy in their homelands. They fled to the West when they decided they preferred Kufar or Dar al-Harb countries to their own. Yeah. Well, there should be conditions. If you come to a Western country, you have to live by our laws with our norms, and we expect certain things, and we will not tolerate certain things. And why should we? So, yeah, I'm highly alarmed at an influx of Muslims. Why? Because I'm a student of history. You'd have to be a brain dead potato fucking moron who's dating JF to not realize that there are problems when Muslims come into your country. There are problems in Muslim countries. Just every Muslim country is a problem, and there are reasons for that. And you could read books on it. Trust me. I mean, it's not a secret. And everywhere they go, people push back and don't like their incursion. Go talk to the Spanish. Go talk to the French, the Swedes who are getting raped, the Brits in Rotterdam getting raped, the terror attacks in London. Go talk to the Israelis. Go talk to the Indians in India. I mean, it's everywhere. We can put a positive spin on it and look at places, positive examples where it hasn't been as treacherous, like in Toronto, other places in Canada. It's worked. Even in Germany, quite frankly, Germany could have been way worse. If Germany wasn't so successful and functional, bringing in millions of Muslims could have been a fucking end of the line, like this is Nightmareville. But it wasn't. I mean, it's bad in pockets, but it's not as bad. And that's a testament to Germany, just like, for example, Australia's ability to take on and assimilate people. That has been a tribute to the fact that Australia is so awesome, or Canada. The problem is that does have a limit, and Melbourne is seeing that right now. All right, they don't know how to deal with it. They're like, we've never had to deal with this problem. You know, it's look at New Zealand. Even New Zealand has never dealt with a mass shooter like this ever. Christchurch has never had an attack like this. Now that's a white radical, you know, neo-Nazi type, edgelord. So, but even still, the point remains: if you're going tra la la, living, you know, a carefree life, and your country doesn't face these problems, and then all of a sudden, before you know it, oh shit, we have a problem. It's like, yeah, you should have been aware of that because it's happened all throughout history. So why were you like so naive with your immigration policy or whatever it was? We all knew it was coming. The sad thing is, can we admit it? We'll be getting a whole lot worse. Yep. Devin, you are on point a lot, but not on this. You sound like an idiot. Oh, fucking hell. Again, not a point. You know, this is not even close to a point.
Yeah, I said it, rub on your titties.
Okay. 105, anti-imperialism. No ethno-nationalists are not in favor of Western imperialism. Ethno-nationalists are against all the foreign wars. They want to bring all the troops home and have separate nations consisting of distinct and separate peoples. Okay, how do they plan to do that? It's just, this is a fucking gay dream. The fact that New Zealand was colonized hundreds of years ago by the British and they created it as a modern Western country, it's a fact of history. And it's where we are now. I'm slightly confused by your attitude here, as in countless other videos you robustly defend the reality of where we are now with the creation of modern Western countries. Yeah? And? You defend the reality of where we are now against the far left anti-white rage about how whites are. Yes, I talk about this in my next video, which is they were trying to shame the people in Australia and New Zealand who are anti-immigration, and they're like, "Hey, white people in Australia, you know, if you're anti-immigration, how long was it before white people was even in Australia? You guys were the immigrants, you know." And my answer to that is, white people have been in Australia since Australia existed. Australia is 100 years old. They created Australia. It didn't exist before white people. It's a white people thing. So, and I mentioned that all countries on Earth displaced some other group before them. This is not a first serve, first come first serve situation. You don't just walk onto a land and call dibs. All right, you fight for the land. That's how it has always been. And to pretend like it's not that is insane. So no, I'm perfectly fine with Western imperialism. I didn't comment on that. I was commenting that he had this image talking about how he's what's it called? Anti. Did he say anti? He did say anti, didn't he? Yeah. Anti-imperialism. So it's a little bit weird to be like, I'm anti-imperialist now after we've already taken over all these lands. It's just, it doesn't make sense. And it's probably people just talking past each other because you'd have to define imperialism in what context. And I mean, the guy's a fucking LARPing military ethnostater. And he's what, a dove? He's a pacifist too. Isolationist. I just want to be alone in my white ethnostate. Give me a fucking break. Okay. He bores me. When did Devin become a soft hippie? 87 people like that. Okay, here we go. People like Devin are seemingly incapable of extrapolating a couple of decades into the future. What? It's the birth rates. So the guy's mirroring, he's echoing what the fucking mass murderer is saying. It's so stupid. I mean, does anybody think I'm not aware of numbers? This is a basic math equation. So what? What is your point? I mean, Jesus fucking Christ. He's always been a disgusting, bald, low-test, atheist degenerate. Oh, wow. Angry. Many soft whites cuck out when guns are used. I'm a soft white now. Oh, okay. What guns? What are you fucking babbling about? Moronic. Testosterone fades with old age. Ah, right. I'm infirm with my senility. Just no tea anymore. Not low tea, just no tea. Ah, here's a Jew. He's a Jew. Watch it in silence. Hit the mute button. He's said that before. It's a bit repetitive. It's a low T move. He always cucks when it comes to race or guns. What? Cucks. So wait, I'm cucking to a gun. Interesting. Think of that literally. So people with guns just come into my home and fuck my girlfriend. And I just go, yeah, well, it's a gun, so I'm scared of the gun. What a psychotic way of viewing my stance on guns. So my desire to be civilized and to stop bloodshed. And this guy's like, you're a keck. He's a million times better than Kenk, Geek, Kenk, Shink, Chink, Keek, Pac-Man, Door, Cuck, Lynx. He's naming a bunch of regressives. Another beta males. Crowder, Shapiro, and AIU have the best content on issues. Gank and Company are just fuck whitey. What? So, what a clueless fucking schmo. Get out. God, man almighty. Good fucking lord. Oh, look at all these comments. I can't deal. Hold on. I mentioned guns. That's probably going to trigger the fucking freaks. I mentioned guns. I mentioned, can't spell mentioned. Jesus Christ. Thank you. Did that trigger someone? Anyone want to tell me something about guns? Kind of lames? Hold on, what's this guy talking about? Kind of lames, huh? Really? Kind of lame? Kind of lame, huh? Really? How was that? Was that kind of lame? All right. Not a fan of Tim Pool. He's a weird little creature. Don't like his politics. Don't like his energy. Devin has been to Poland. Not yet. I have not, but I have seen Stefan Molyneux went to Poland and he liked it. Why are you banning Just Tuned In? Why am I banning? Because people suck balls. Like Kekistan. Kekistani types. I don't like them. I judge people by their icons. Like, the chances that that fucking Kek dork is a worthwhile human being is like impossible. You sound like a boomer, dog. Oh, nice. This comment thread is a dumpster fire. Which one? Not sure. Devin, let me engage you guys. You guys are like real humans. Devin, do you users get accidentally blocked from chat or super chat? What? Do users sometimes an accident happens, but rare. Usually people earn their block. I'm gonna snap, defend your home. I don't want to use my real name. Okay. Can you make longer videos on guns? No. There's nothing in it for me. I know you have in the past, but I still love to hear your take on it. So very few seem to get it. Yeah, I mean, I could. It'd just be pissing into the wind. I don't care. I mean, these fucking gun losers. It's so stupid. I was telling my girlfriend today. It was like these fucking pussies are sitting there in America with a barrel full of guns themselves. They can go out and get whatever fucking gun they want. There's 400 million guns in America. The Second Amendment and the NRA are not going to make, nobody's putting a dent in that. And I'm some guy in Switzerland who has an opinion that I don't think the best way to form a country is to have everybody with a gun. Which seems to be obvious. It's fucking completely obvious. It's so backward. It's so fucking backward. Do you think, I mean, my lord, such an easy topic. And these people are like upset. They're like, oh my God, fuck, get him. Like it's the most weak freak out I've ever seen is people's fragility when it comes to their guns. Go fuck yourself. Devon Tracy lobbing band ropes like Peter North. Yes, you love me. Larry David, yeah, he's a genius. Very funny guy. I want more stuff from him. Ricky Gervais just put out a thing, Afterlife. Very good show on Netflix. I suggest you check it out. Who do you support? I haven't spent any time figuring out who to support. It's more about who I don't support, which is Elizabeth Warren. Don't support her. Who else? I mean, all these regressives, it's all a shit show of regression. But if you're going to start talking reparations, I'm out. So, yeah, there's that. Elizabeth Warren, I just saw a commercial she just did on redlining. Redlining, which is highly exaggerated and was from 1930 to 1960 and has no bearing or relevance now. And she's like, oh, yeah, the government's going to make amends for that. So what are we doing? What exactly are we doing? How are you dividing the races more? Fuck that shit. No way would I vote for my tax dollars to go for something like that. Not even, no chance. I'm a city dweller. Yes, I live in cities. I prefer cities. Uh, you think you get a strike for the I kind of half hope I get a strike for the manifesto video, because if that's the case, I will push to have people like Sargon, like Rogan, like Sam Harris, like Dave Rubin. I'll fucking cause a stink, because if you're gonna give me a strike for condemning hate speech and being like, yeah, but it was hate speech. No, then there's nothing in that video that is strike worthy. Nothing. So, do you think if I read a chapter of Mein Kampf, making fun of it and condemning it all the way through, you think that deserves a strike? I mean, it's a principle stance on that. Being an actual cuck for over 10 years, this whole cuck thing is an insult, is pretty weird. Wow. Actual cuck. Admitting it. Thank you for loving me. Heard you were voting for Beto. No, I don't know anything about these guys. Like, I never heard a speech or anything. Yang, I have no idea. Policy, anything. I get just a general sense, because I don't care. Who the fuck? It's March of 2019. I mean, seriously? Do people have that little to do in their lives? Be like, oh, which candidate should I vote for next year? Hell no. Way too early. Love you, Dev, but this chat is wearing me out. Yeah, I bet. Save this for later. Great song for one of your great outros. All right. Yeah, you're not. You can leave whenever you want, bro. Okay. Interesting. All right. We will investigate that. Do you see yourself voting for Trump if the oh my god, if the Democrats vote regressive? No, there's no chance in hell. I would rather put a bullet in my head than vote for Trump. Never gonna happen. So drop it. And the reason is because even if there's a regressive, I would still favor. I'd still have more things in common with the regressive than with Trump. I think people. I mean, obviously, a lot of my fans have lost complete track of that. Which is that what you have to understand is I play an advanced level game, and that game is I'm criticizing my general side of politics because A, it's fun, and B, it's more challenging, and C, I care about it more because they're the side that's supposed to represent me. The stupid ass binary political system in America is retarded. You have a country of 330 million people and you have two political parties? Derp. Great idea. Turns out there's massive difference, and there's so many goddamn issues that there should be a splintering effect. It should have happened 100 years ago. We should have 20 different parties, and it should be nuanced as fuck, and we should have a healthy debate. It shouldn't be a 2-year political campaign to run for president. And finance reform, campaign finance reform should happen. We should get money out of politics. I agree with all that. The things I disagree with Republicans, I mean, it's all sorts of stuff. Their tax plan, their military budgets, their stance on the environment. It's insane. Abortion, gay issues, all that. The religious right. I'm against all of it vehemently. And it goes without saying, and it's dull. It's dull for me to go over. It's not even what's needed. I'm trying to steer the ship on the friggin' left. Like, I'll do a video saying, like, do not ask for reparations, please. People on the left, this is a deal breaker. I'm the last voice of reason on the left. Are you kidding me? Best content on the webs makes fun of Benjamin. Who? Carl Benjamin? Who else could you be talking about? Thank you for that. Yeah, I'll consider that. He got banned for saying AIU. Damn. It's rough. Oh, he probably got banned for this. Just as smug as Ben, I agree with most of the stuff he says. Smug. Eat my shit. Catch me later. Yeah, thank you. All right, yeah, I'm losing a little steam here, guys. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm probably gonna go to bed. I'll answer a few more questions. How do you allow for additional parties to gain power without sliding our republic toward a majority rule democracy? Well, how do you allow for additional parties? You just create them. What do you mean? Other countries have this. This is not unnormal. Majority rule democracy? What's wrong with majority rule? That's the point of a democracy. I mean, what? I don't get it. We should get rid of the electoral college. I understand we're a republic and not a true democracy, but um, I mean, we should have it should be a popular vote for president for starters, and yeah, we should have many more parties. Period. Democratic Party needs to be splintered. Yeah, it definitely does. But that's the whole thing: is that the progressives they knew that they didn't want to be a third party because the third party just stinks of defeat and weakness. Like the Green Party, or what's the other party? I can't even think of them. They're so insignificant. But yeah, nobody's going to vote for that shit. Just run as an independent or something. Like we're the Justice Democrats. So that's why they tried to take over from within. Do you like Bruce Springsteen? Bruce Springsteen? No. Don't like him as a person. Don't know his songs. Heard like one of his songs on MTV when I was growing up. Didn't really like his vibe. I'm not really into working class New Jersey shit. Thought he was a short little dude, a little bit gay, a little bit, I don't know, boring rock. Not into it at all. Which one of these mods is Phil Anselmo? I don't know. We should get him on there. Ban Adam? I don't know. Yeah, Benjamin. I'll talk to Sargon. Yeah. He's doing his thing. I check in on his videos every once in a while, but it's a bit cringy. His Trump shit and his Brexit obsession. It's like, oh god, over it. How do you deal with the level of insanity that is the ethnostaters in those comments, Devin? Really does do a community service by taking out that trash. Yeah, I mean, there's so much more to go through, but I don't deal with it. Like my girlfriend said, if I get too upset down here, she knows I'm in a band session. I can just go upstairs and hang out with her. And so I just unplug and breathe and go check NBA highlights or do whatever. It's not that big of a deal. It's just people spurging. You get used to it after a while. Here's a guy spurging right now, Eric Connors. Mr. Rue, you do not understand why people need guns, but you do not want to listen to people who have valid points of reason. Could you explain how that works? What? Again, it's like I have to sit here and try to make sense of what this guy's even trying to say. I don't think people should have guns I don't think citizens should own guns. I believe the cops should have guns. Okay? I believe that that is an ideal society. Okay? That is, I mean, go ask people who live in those societies where gun violence is not a threat, where gun ownership is not even popular. You don't need guns. Why the fuck would you need a gun? What are you doing? What is your plan? I mean, do you understand the logic? Half the time, people who say, I need a gun because other people have guns. Okay, well, how about this? Nobody has a gun. Then you don't need your fucking gun. It's so easy to comprehend. Okay? That is my stance. There should never have been a Second Amendment. It should never have started. Now, if you want to enter the discussion of what to do now in America, that's a different discussion. It's a shit show in America. Thousands upon thousands of people dying every year from gun violence. From fucking young men, idiots, every yahoo, every fucking clown gets a gun. You don't see why that's a fucking problem? You moron. You dumb fuck. I mean, we sit there and talk about, oh, what about these bad segments of our societies, these ghettos, this and that. Hold on. Hold your horses. Okay, I'm back. Fucking idiots. All right, let's have Uncle Devin explain to you fucking losers why guns are bad. Now, who's this Devin out here on that Owen Benjamin shit unsubbed from Patreon? Okay, get the fuck out. Here's a stupid fucking comment. Switzerland does have guns. Oh no, this guy was trying to joke. Nobody should have a gun, like in Switzerland. So, is there a straw man here? Did I say Switzerland is a perfect society? No, the people in Switzerland shouldn't have guns. Do you see how I'm consistent now? Da 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 da! It's fucking amazing, isn't it? So here's the difference is Switzerland, first of all, does have more gun regulations than America. There's that. Second of all, everybody is trained in the military out here. Third of all, it is a small nation that is homogeneous and is happy and functional. And the economy's booming. They don't have gangs out here. They don't have all sorts of crazy shit. Psychos popping off. So it works better here. That still doesn't mean it's perfect. Nobody should have guns. Why the fuck do those people still have guns? They shouldn't have them. Okay? Easy. Very easy. Nobody has guns in Japan. It's simple. It's like, dude, do you not see the goddamn bloodshed every day? You want this shit? You know how many dumb bitches there are out there? What has the internet taught us? There's a bunch of dumb, fragile, emotionally distraught losers in the world. And you want to give them guns. It's retarded. Stupid. And half of these people have never been around the world. They don't know what it's like. They don't know that it is a possibility to be in a place that doesn't have a gun. They've never left their town. They're like, this is the way it is, man. This is my lifeline to having a power, a sense of self-worth. How am I going to defend myself from the bad guys? So fucking retarded. Subscribe to PewDiePie. Making fun? Did I mispronounce that word? Say something to me again. Subscribe to PewDiePie and I'll fucking ban your bitch ass. Switzerland, yeah, Switzerland is such a misnomer. It's like it's just this outlier, and it doesn't mean anything. It's like, okay, Switzerland's doing well, so clearly America is not. That's what I love is people don't even recognize that there's a problem in America. They're like, what? What's the big deal? What? That's the way life is supposed to be. You're supposed to have mass shootings all the fucking time, every day. Every day there's supposed to be a mass shooting. Sure. The suicide rates are supposed to be that high. This is regressive. Fuck off. Dumb bitch. At this point, how can we even get rid of them all? Maybe a massive buyback. Well, yeah, that's a totally different conversation. What to do. And here's the quick and dirty answer. Do something. Do something so that next year there are less guns than the year before. And that in 20 years, it's going to be less likely for kids growing up to die by gunfire. You think? Or should we just say fuck it, make it worse? Should we do worse? Let's make policy changes so that's worse in 20 years. How about that? That's what we're doing right now. Thoughts on Aquinas' 5 arguments? Dude, Aquinas. I've never even seen that word written. I don't know who that is. I don't know the 5 arguments. I don't know why you'd think I know the 5 arguments. I mean, have a point. Give me something to talk about. I don't give a fuck. Gun control is needed, I admit. You think? You think? How old do you have to be to buy a gun? What are the fucking background checks? What is the caliber of guns we're giving random citizens? How's it working? How's it working, guys? Holy shit. It's so easy. Out of all the things I talk about, that is the most intellectually boring topic. How could you not fucking understand that nobody should have a gun? Grant didn't even have a gun in the Middle East, I know. What do you mean no audio? Anyway, I'm out. It's a joy to just be around people that are so fucking underneath me. It's like it's really weird. It crystallizes my desire to successfully navigate how I spend my time. Like sitting there and explaining basic shit to you people is boring to me. You understand that? Like intellectually boring. To put out the dumpster fire that is your fucking stance on an issue that's as basic as guns. Should I explain to you that abortion is good? Should I explain to you that Planned Parenthood is a good thing? Do you need me to hold your hand through that one? Really? Stupid. Medieval philosopher saying, oh yeah, St. Thomas Aquinas, of course. Oh yeah, total. I read his last book. He did a great audiobook. Really cool. You know, because medieval philosophers, that's my shit. Gives a fuck. Yeah, people shouldn't be babied, Devin. We keep saying let's disarm the West. Meanwhile, we send guns to our enemies by the buckets. What? Wait, what do you mean guns to our enemies? What? Who? What do you? What is this? Conspiracy theory? Why are you coming at me with this stupid, lame shit? Yes, there are companies. They sell guns to people. What do you want from me? God bless me. Hell yeah. How do you deal with these people, Devin? It's amazing. I know it's crazy. Like, here's the thing. I should just turn off the chat. Like, I should just hand select people that I value their brains and like what they bring to a conversation, and just be like, look, if I'm going to listen to you open your stupid mouth and say something to me, I want it to better my life. I want it to be something that is whimsical, charming, humorous, thoughtful, insightful, something that I could learn from. God forbid you teach me something. God forbid. Hello, Devin. I hope you have a wonderful day. Terrible. Background checks. I agree with you on guns, but homogeneous countries tend to work better, okay? Which is why Switzerland works well. It's not that, I mean, there's a bunch of random people here too. It's not completely ethnoed out. It's also why it makes sense to have strict border control. Okay? Well, a lot of the Pandora's box is open on a lot of this stuff. So again, if you want to have this conversation, yes, we notice that it's people that have similarities, people that have things in common, share culture, do not have beef with each other, are attracted to each other, for example. Yeah, it's gonna be better if a group of people like that decide to live together. Having said that, there's a bunch of countries where it's not like that already. Already, it's not like that. So, what are we going to do? Cry about that? I mean, try to reverse time? It's going to be very difficult to change, the way things are. And that's why people can only change it within, internally. White flight. That's why you have to go to a part of a country, even if the country itself is mixed. I mean, there's a reason you're not living in Atlanta or New Orleans. You can go to Denver, go to Oregon. Okay, I can't anymore. I'm out.